G'day and welcome to my channel. My name is Craig, and this is a series on a maple guitar that I'm building. It's called Molly, or Molly Maple, but I think this is the first time I've done a quilted maple. And I'm going to do a cutaway on this one as well. One of the rare ones that might enhance the guitar if you make a cutaway, because maple tends to be rather bassy, and I want to reduce a little bit of that bassy. So just to refresh your memory, if you haven't seen one of my earlier videos, we'll just give it a spray to show you what it looks like. I don't think you'll get any better than this quilted maple. This is about as good as it gets. So as I said, it will have a cutaway. I'll cut that section away later on. But it's just fantastic. Look at that. I've done binding with ebony, I've done with maple, and I've done flame maple as well with maple. I haven't done a brown one yet. I was going to use maybe some blackwood, but couldn't find any just for the moment, so I'll probably do this one. Altogether I've got 3 sets of these particular ones from this run. They're pretty hard to come by. So I'll give this one a go with this. I think this is just sapele. I think it'll go okay. A little bit of contrast. The only difference really between this and curly maple is that this one, or soft maple, is flat sawn. You get this kind of pattern, and if you do it a quarter sawn, you get the flame type maple or curly maple. It's probably around about maybe a mahogany type of hardness. The sides on this one, I think of again, you can't really fault these sides. It's about as perfect a quilted maple as you're ever going to come across. Now, because I'm doing a cutaway, there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind when you are doing the sides. Now, the first one is the upper bout on a cutaway is going to have to extend a little further near the neck joint, because it's going to be about an extra 30 millimeters or so. So I'll just put that a little bit further up here. Now for the lower bout, it's actually going to be a little bit shorter. But the thing is, with a cutaway, it's actually going to need to be a little bit on the base part here of the line, on the bottom of it. It's going to have to be a little bit greater, and we'll take it about that long. It's not going to hurt if we, just means we've got a little bit more to cut off later on. So we're actually going to make it from about there to about here. So it's probably a bit long, but as I said, it doesn't matter, we can just remove it later. So you can measure it out with a pattern if you like, or you can just have a bit of a guess. As I said, it just means that if you have a little bit too much, it just means you've got to take a little bit off later on. Now, someone on YouTube I seem to recall saying that quilted maple was difficult to bend. Maybe it's because of all these patterns tend to possibly break out, I don't know. But I've cut this down, I think it's about 2.2 millimeters, or even 2.1, or 2.2, yeah. So that should be quite flexible, I think, hopefully. This might be the first time I mess it up. I hope I don't. As I said, it's pretty hard to come by this kind of quality quilted maple. So I'll cut it out and we'll give it a go. Of course the cutaway side is going to be the problem. So I'll do that one first. If it doesn't work, we've still got another side left. Which probably doesn't do us a whole lot of good anyway, but we'll see. One thing that I almost made a mistake on, I had this on the wrong side and I almost made it a left-hand guitar, but no, that's good. The last part of preparing for a cutaway is to make a slight alteration to the neck block. The next step in doing a cutaway is to make sure that we align the neck block on this side here. We want to make sure that our guitar cutaway is going to follow along the sides of our fretboard rather than being protruding somewhat out here. So because I've pre-made the neck blocks, I have to now change it slightly. All I've got to do is just align this up here and put a line about where it's going to go, and cut that part away. Except we also have to take into consideration that the sides of the guitar are going to be about 2.2 or so millimeters. So we have to make that slightly greater. So that's about the width of the sides. So we're going to have to make this, the line that I drew on here, about that distance in there. Get in focus. That inside line is going to be where we cut it, so that hopefully the side will meet up there and it will also align with the fretboard as it's going past that particular part of the cutaway. So after cutting that section off, you might be able to see that little piece down here. That should be the width of the sides of the guitar, so that our cutaway, when it's finished, will align itself hopefully right on with the fretboard on the guitar. Should all be almost as if it's one piece, hopefully. So here is our Dreadnaught quilted maple guitar, at least part of the guitar. We've got our rims done. We have our cutout now down here. I don't know how we can see that. That worked out okay. Probably could have done with maybe an extra 2 or 3 millimeters cut off there. It's probably about, back here it's about 1 millimeter away from what the pattern says. But apart from that, it is quite happy with it. This is right at the halfway line, the same for the other side. At the underneath, we have this extra bit of material here. Will take only a couple of minutes to remove excess there. We need to have some overhang, because down here, if we didn't have the overhang, we'd find that we'd have basically a gap down here. But it doesn't take long to get rid of this extra material here, and we'll be ready to put the kerfing on. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you next time.